What's up, Speedway fans? My name's Carlito, and we're back with the 5th edition of the Weekly Speedway Catch Up. This week, it's a little bit more special than usual, because a few days ago, the 2025 World Speedway Championships got underway. So this week, it's going to be a bit of a World Speedway opening weekend special. Be sure to click the thumbs up button and subscribe if you're new here. Both of these things are completely free and enormously beneficial to the growth of the channel. And hopefully, in the not so distant future, it'll be beneficial to the sport itself as well. I'll explain this in good time. I also want to hear your opinions. Try to keep it positive though. I'm trying to prevent the comment section from turning into a war zone. We're all here for one reason, because we love Speedway. Anyway, my name's Carlito, and welcome to my YouTube channel. After 6 months without World Championship Speedway racing, finally the Speedway Grand Prix was back. The centre of Landshut was buzzing with excitement from local German and travelling fans alike on the Saturday morning. And as British fans, we did receive a really warm welcome travelling up to the One Solo Arena from the locals. Let's start off with a topic that has divided the Speedway community, the brand new qualifying format. I've seen loads of people on social media making remarks about how the format isn't Speedway and isn't racing, which is completely true. But the qualifying isn't replacing the racing. The qualifying is just the FIM and the Speedway Grand Prix extending the amount of action on track at no extra cost to the consumer at all.
But it's £30 a month now, and it used to be free!
Riders have always had practice sessions throughout the history of World Championship Speedway, but now the gates are open for ticket holders to attend and extend their day out. If you're watching on TV, this is just an hour or so of extra Speedway bike action for you. It hasn't, and nor will it ever come in as a replacement for the traditional racing. Just remember that. Of course, some people are going to love it, and some people, as always in Speedway, will detest it. But a quick question for the haters, what is your suggestion? Get rid of it? What's the argument behind that?
I want to see less Speedway.
Well, if this is the case, there's a simple solution. Don't turn it on. If you prefer to watch the traditional racing, just tune in from the start of the evening broadcast. I'm not just saying this because I work for the Speedway Grand Prix, but I really enjoyed the format. With 8 free practice sessions followed by 12 duels, that's an additional 20 sessions of Speedway bikes on track for the viewer, plus an additional sprint race. That's almost the same amount of time where bikes are on track at full throttle as the main event itself. I must say that personally, I'm not completely sold on the idea of additional points being up for grabs in the sprint race, but I do think it will grow on me. I do like the idea that it gives riders the opportunity to bank more points and push for higher ranking positions in the World Championships. But on the other side of the sword, it could equally assist one of the greatest riders of all time extend his almost uncatchable lead, as it did in Landshut. The first sprint race of 2025 was an almost identical lineup to the main event final, with 3 out of 4 riders being in both races. The sprint race finished with Bartosz Zmarzlik taking 4 points, Brady Kurtz taking 3, and Robert Lambert taking 2 points after passing Lebedevs, who scored 1. In conclusion, I believe that being able to see more action on track can only be a good thing. But as I keep on saying, just remember, all these time sessions will never, ever replace the traditional racing. And this is only bonus Speedway action and doesn't take away from the prestige of the World Championships. The second subject this week is the brand new Speedway Grand Prix main event qualification format. In 2025, the top 10 riders from the original 20 heats will have the opportunity to progress through into the elimination stages of the event, unlike previous years where the top 8 riders were divided into 2 semi-finals. In 2025, the top 2 scoring riders will leapfrog over the semis and advance straight through into the final. The following 8 riders will battle it out over 2 semi-finals where only the winner will progress into the final. This is another controversial rule-changing decision that can either work for you or work against you. It does bring a new importance of finishing in the top 2 from the original 20 heats of racing, as you're automatically protected from the first stage of elimination. Somebody who did use the new format to his advantage was Freddie Lindgren. In 2024, the Swede would have had the van loaded up by the time the semi-finalists have actually pulled up to the tapes, but in 2025, he was in. Last year, Freddie would have driven back to Sweden in 9th place in the Speedway Grand Prix standings. But he managed to boost himself up into 5th place thanks to the new rule changes. It was a similar story for Poland's Dominik Kubera as well, who boosted himself from 10th place up into 6th. So, did anybody miss out because of the new rule change? Well, a couple of names come to mind. The first being Anders Thompson. Anders started off his 2025 Speedway Grand Prix campaign, scoring 8 points out of a possible 9 in his first 3 outings, progressing through to the elimination stages of the event in 4th place. Anders ended up in 10th in the final standings of the evening, which some people will consider to be especially harsh with the new rule change. Another small issue you can have with the new format is when you have multiple riders from the same nation in one last chance qualifier. For example, in LCQ1 you had Frick and Holder, guaranteeing that at least one Aussie was going to catch a bullet. And in LCQ2 you had Bewley and Lambert, meaning at least one Brit was not going to progress into the final. I do like the protection for the fastest riders of the night, but I do have a few concerns when it comes to the last chance qualifiers. One of my subscribers mentioned the idea of doing 2 quarterfinals where the first 2 progress and a semi-final where the first 2 progress into the final to join the top 2 qualifiers. I really like this idea. It means that if you completely miss the gate, it's still worth pushing because there's still a chance of coming in the top 2. Whereas winning a race from the back against the strongest riders of the evening is an exceptionally uphill task. I do believe that this would encourage riders not to give up if they don't have the trapping gloves on. Plus, we would get an extra race added to the programme, taking the amount of races from 23 to 24. The last chance qualifiers saw Lebedevs and Bewley progress to join Bartosz Zmarzlik and Brady Kurtz in the final. The first final of the season, and I couldn't have been happier with the lineup. It felt like the correct riders had qualified for the final, and if I take my British hat off, truthfully, I really wanted Lebedevs to shock the world. But the right man won. Remarkably, it looks like Zmarzlik just keeps on getting faster and faster. I felt as though Bewley had the pace to mix it with the 5-time world champion, and I was chuffed to bits to see Lebedevs get onto the podium for the first time ever. I was even more pleased after seeing his post-meeting interview. It was made very clear that nobody wants to win quite as much as Andrzej Lebedevs. I felt a little bit of disappointment for Brady Kurtz, who looked like a rocket all night. But I did have a brief chat with a mate of mine before the meeting who mentioned a really interesting factor with regards to the top riders going through to the final automatically. He told me that when this format was used in events in the British Premiership in previous years, the automatic qualifiers very rarely won. Could this be due to the adrenaline calming down in the body, a cold tyre, or even how much the track has changed since their last ride? I'm not sure, but Brady Kurtz definitely didn't look the same rider as he did in his first 5 races. I know Zmarzlik automatically qualified and won the Grand Prix, but it's Zmarzlik. That man could win a Speedway Grand Prix with no tyres on his bike. It will be interesting to see the stats at the end of the season to see if the automatic final qualification format does help riders, and it will be even more interesting to see how many of the automatic qualification riders come in 4th. The opening round didn't catch fire straight away, but the event got much better as the evening went on. All in all, it was a great first round in Germany. The SGP2 qualifiers will take place at 3 tracks across Europe in the next couple of weeks. British representatives Dan Thompson, Ashton Bowden and Jake Milford will all be riding at Glasgow on Saturday the 24th of May. Sam Hagan will be riding at Pas de Beast on the same day, and Luke Colleen will be riding in Hungary on Saturday the 7th of June. The 5 British contenders will be riding to qualify for the World Under-21 Championships, which will get underway in Melilla, the day before the Speedway Grand Prix of Sweden on Friday the 4th of July. Should any of the British riders qualify, they'll be up against the best under-21 riders on the planet, including Mikkel Andersen, Matej Polstad, Nazar Panitsky, and of course, Viktor Pujemski. Latvia's Francis Gusts has been dropped from the Oxford Spires team and replaced by ex-Speedway Grand Prix rider Craig Cook. On his home debut for the Spires, Craig scored an impressive 7+1 at reserve, before making the 70-mile journey up the M40 to Perry Barr for the away leg on the same day. And that is where Craig Cook entered beast mode, going through the car with an impressive 15-point maximum for the Spires on away shale. I know Craig has been incredibly transparent with his mental struggles, and I really hope that results like this can help him find his way through the tough times, because he really can be almost unbeatable on his night. Well done, Craig Cook. Like Oxford, Birmingham have already decided to make adaptations to their team. The Brummies have decided to let go of Matej Zagar after having a stint of visa problems, and have also decided to drop struggling Finnish rider Antti Vuolas. Both riders will make room for Italy's Paco Castanga and the recently released Sheffield reserve Danyon Hume. Club promoter Nigel Tolley said in a statement that both inbound riders who have ridden at Perry Barr at championship level before will certainly give it their all. Good luck to Paco Castanga and Danyon Hume at Birmingham. Bank Holiday Monday had a bumper lineup of First Division action with 4 teams in the Rowe Oil Premiership riding twice in one day. Bellevue and Sheffield would face off at the National Speedway Stadium in the afternoon, and again at Owlerton in the evening for a classic War of the Roses matchup. Bellevue narrowly dodged a bullet at home by winning 46-44, but their luck on the road wasn't as prominent, losing 57-33 to the Tigers. Bank Holiday bragging rights go to Sheffield this time. The Oxford Spires had a similar double-header encounter with the Birmingham Brummies, winning 49 points to 41 on home shell at Sandy Lane, and then getting a second win on the same day of 47 points to 43 up at Perry Barr. The battle at the back between the Brummies and the Spires has broken its deadlock, and the Oxford Spires now find themselves up into 5th place, leapfrogging over Birmingham and Kings Lynn. The Great British semi-final was held at Leicester almost a week ago, where the final few places of the British Championship were up for grabs. Dan Thompson went through the card and scored a 15-point maximum. He will be joined in the British final by Drew Kemp, Leon Flint, Dan Gilks, Louis Kerr and Connor Mountain. The boys will go on to join Chris Harris, Tom Brennan, Kyle Howarth, Robert Lambert, Steve Worrell, Adam Ellis, Danny King, Dan Bewley, Anders Rowe and Charles Wright at the National Speedway Stadium on Monday the 12th of May. I will be doing a vlog for this event, so if you see me there, make sure you come and say hello. I'm not sure if anybody noticed last week, but I did add Patrick Dudek to the thumbnail, and he wasn't mentioned. The reason was that I completely missed him out for my voiceover. So, a week late, Patrick Dudek has been given the wildcard position for the prestigious Speedway Grand Prix of Warsaw held at the Narodowy Stadium in Poland on the 17th of May. Patrick will join fellow Poles Bartosz Zmarzlik and Dominik Kubera as the hosting nation tried to get their first ever winner at the National Stadium of Poland. As always, I'll end on where you can watch Speedway in the UK over the next 7 days. Meetings with an independent live stream will feature a blue dot, meetings covered by BSM will feature a green dot, and meetings broadcast on TNT Sports will feature a purple dot. If you're able to attend the meetings and support the club in person, this is always the best option. But if you're unable to attend, supporting the sport through the streaming services is certainly the next best option. Anyway, that's all we've got time for today. I hope you all have an amazing week, and the Weekly Speedway Catch Up will be back next Tuesday, the 13th of May for the 6th edition. Please keep hammering away at the thumbs up button and keep putting your lovely comments in the comment section below. Interaction with my content boosts the videos so much in the YouTube algorithm, and it allows the channel to grow much faster. It took me a year to get to 1,000 subscribers, and then just another 3 weeks to get to 1,500. This is because of all the amazing support that you, the viewer, have given to the channel. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you all so much, and I'll see you guys in the next one.